smoke and mirrors, steps down in relationships. Because we've got new love.
Can you find love after the age of 40? Should you be looking for love or flings after the age of 40?
Well, I think it just depends on where your mind is placed. I don't think it's anything biggie to find love at 40 or love find me, because I'm a girl.
I totally agree with Lolo. Love should find you. You know, whatever you feel like doing at 40, you know, if you want to fling, please, by all means, go for it.
Some people think you can only have one soulmate. I say that's a lie. Soulmates are plenty, but there can only be one Lola one.
Hello, thank you.
Thanks for joining us today. We also have with us Gbemisola, who is an HR manager and events planner. So excited to have you in here today.
Thank you.
Especially because we're talking about love. Love that supersedes time and it's transient. Can you find love after the age of 40? Should you be looking for love or flings after the age of 40?
Well, I think it just depends on where your mind is placed on. I want to marry again. I want to see if it's possible. I want a second chance. I want to relieve what I feel I lost. So I don't think it's anything biggie to find love at 40 or love find me, because I'm a girl. So love should find me, really. I shouldn't go searching. But I should sit in a nice, pretty corner and it should find me.
Just come and find you.
Yeah.
Gbemisola, what do you think? Should you be more active in looking for love or not?
No, I mean, I totally agree with Lolo. Love should find you. You know, whatever you feel like doing at 40, you know, if you want to fling, please, by all means, go for it.
So do you think you're ever too old to fall in love, though? To go through the process of meeting someone and getting to know them, brand new? Are you ever so old? I mean, are you ever, you know how when you're 16, the little things just create butterflies and you're excited. Oh, he called me. He called me. At 40, should you be more cautious or should caution be thrown to the wind?
No, actually, I just think is how we feel or how we deal with issues is temperament-based. There's some people that are very settled in their lives, they're very together, they're controlled people naturally. So the disposition to love will probably follow that same way. But somebody like me, my head is always rainbows, it's always colors, it's always Cinderella. So for somebody like me, you'd be wondering now, how would a woman at 40 want to love like an 18-year-old? But that's my own reality. It might not be everybody's reality. Some people believe that at that particular age you should be cautious. Well, I would say even in your caution, sometimes you preclude yourself from finding or being found because you're very careful. Just like every rule to everything in life, life is a risk. If you find someone and he breaks your heart, you learn one or two things. You learn to read signs, but for someone like me, I just want to jump right into it again and try again.
Gbemisola, do you think that there are any advantages to dating after the age of 40?
Advantages.
Yes.
Companionship. People say they don't need someone else after, you know, but I think everybody needs a companion at all times. At all times, and I'm talking opposite sex, not just your friend. You know, so yeah, I think that's the main advantage.
Yeah,
really.
one of the main
Everything else
advantages.
is extra.
You're watching Love Lounge, and I'd love to hear from you today. If you found love after the age of 40 or you're looking for love right now and you have tips on how to snag the perfect partner, do share with us on our Twitter handle right now. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to Love Lounge. Keep your messages coming in. I want to know all the dating tips that you have for people over the age of 40 who are looking for love or a fling or just something extra kinky. Okay, so I have a question for you. Speaking of kinky, are there places in Lagos that you feel, if you're somebody who wants to be more adventurous and you don't necessarily want to, you know, do it in the bedroom, you want to take it outside, you want to feel like you're 15 and you're sneaking in a kiss in back of the alleyway in school again.
Yeah.
Where are the places that you can go and legally not get caught and arrested? just again, feel like a teenager.
I just think, like me, I love water. So the beach is a lovely hangout place. You can walk the sand, you can go at night, you know, kiss up under the umbrella or the stars, and you can feel that. I think that's a great place to date. For I don't drink, so lounges are not really my thing.
Okay.
I'm an outdoorsy person. I love hiking. I love to walk. So if you have a lovely trail, you want to just walk down the street at night and just look at all the scenes. And of course, some alley is going to be dark. You want to just, just steal a kiss here and there. And for someone like me, that will work. And movies are great too. It's dark, naturally. So you get to hold hands and rub each other's head and laugh at just, normal things. Instead of and generally your couch is still a great place to hang out.
Okay. Garisola, what about you? What are your tips for places to be?
I would say the plane is a good a good place.
Okay.
The aeroplane when you're traveling.
Yes.
I like to travel. The swimming pool. I love swimming.
She has great body.
Yeah.
So those two places for me. I'm not the bedroom kind of person, so yeah, you won't find me doing anything too kinky in there.
Now, I've seen some messages from our viewers who they said that one of their fears when they were, in their 30s and they felt they had to settle down with the first person they could at the time was because they were told that after the age of 38, 39 for men and women, you start meeting the leftovers in the market that nobody wants. And so even though they're not happy with their partner right now, they felt this was the best choice that I had to accept so I don't have leftover, aka spoilt markets. Now, is this a real thing?
Well, I would think of it literally. Like this one is something I'm going to still muse over and laugh. Leftover, really? Yeah, well, at 40, really, logically, a lot of your age grade are probably married. So if I see a man that is about 40 or going to 50, never married, I'm so sorry. I'm just going to so run. Because I'll be wondering that at 50 or 48, you're still single. It either is a medical condition or you have relational issues. There must be something off somewhere.
But what if that person was just very focused on career? Or maybe they had, there's some people who are like the firstborn and they have like 12 other siblings they had to take care of and they just never had time for themselves. So maybe at the age of 50 was when he finally realized, I'm ready to date and there's nothing wrong with it.
Well, you'd have to prove to me that those reasons are the reasons.
Okay.
Because I'll be too scared, really. It's not like that. I've seen someone like that. In fact, I've emceed the wedding. The husband is 49, she was 49. Never married, the both of them. And,
but there was nothing wrong with them mentally.
Yeah, they
physically.
got married. The guy just
it wasn't
said
because of BO or mouth odor that they couldn't cure.
I think the guy just said it just didn't feel right, and he just wanted to feel that rightness, and that kept him for so long. And they've been married now for about 6-7 years, and he's still working. So there might be some, funny reasons or extra reasons that are like that. But for someone like me, I will question. And I'll question a lot. It's a different thing if you've tried love once, or you're divorced, or you're separated. Where you're telling me at 50 or 40 something, you've never been with a woman, you've never dated. Where am I going to start to teach you from? That means he has no relational experience. So he might be 50 or 40, but he still thinks like a child, or doesn't even know what the tenets of a relationship is.
So you've seen the film 40-Year-Old Virgin. Are you saying somebody like that, you'd see that man and run?
I will run.
Oh, wow. You must be sounding...
I will run. I don't want a 40-year-old virgin. For what? Where do you want to begin to teach him from? It's not just sex. People just think... I tell people that sex for us women doesn't start in the bedroom. It's a culmination of many things. So at 40, I want to teach you how to look at me, watch me, what I like. Now I have to even sexual, when it gets to that point. How do you explain to a 40-year-old man what you do with a woman's body? It's hard.
And even, I guess, they're having certain conversations.
Yes, you might find it a bit... we're religious in this side of the world, and a lot of people might say, okay, if they're living by the tenets of their religion, and abstinence is one of the things they preach, so far the two of them believe same way. It might not be a problem.
All right, you're watching Love Lounge. Please keep your messages coming in. I have one Facebook message that I want to share with you. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to Love Lounge. Now, I'd really like to know, Wimisola, what you reckon about. Are there any key tips you would give people dating over the age of 40? What they should look out for, what they should avoid in their prospective partners?
Well, I think that's a bit hard to say, you know, avoid this or avoid that. I think every personality is different. Some people feel I've worked too hard, I don't want to share my things with anybody, especially money. Some people feel I don't want to share my time with anybody. So for me, I'll just say be calm and enjoy yourself. I don't think there's really anything in particular, you know, they need to look out for. They need to look out for themselves. That's, you know, be happy.
And would you say that it's better to date somebody who's either divorcee or widowed? Are they, and then also if they come with other baggage, like, you know, somebody at some point in time after a certain age, you're looking after your parents. Some of them have now moved in with you because they're older. You don't want to put them in nursing home. Would you advise women or men to establish a relationship with somebody who their parents are now living in the house with them?
It's funny you said that because the year my marriage ended, you know, some of my friends were telling me, you would only find a divorcee to marry, or you would only... It's funny because I turned 42 years ago, and I think this is the hottest I've been in my life. I've had the most toasters in my life. I've had the most fun. And I want to say out of 10, I probably have about 7 single guys, you know, asking me out. So it's not just about the divorcees or the widows, or, you know, you have all sorts of people around, even the married men, but, you know, that's another story.
Another issue. What is it with the married men, though, who, you know, like you said, after a certain age are still curious? Is it that on a certain level they're like, maybe I should leave this marriage because it looks like you guys are having the most fun right now?
I always say that when it comes to men, married men, I just think at a certain level, you just get tired of eating rice. And you want something else. So the onus is on us women. Yes, it's on us women to say no, I don't want this. Because with a married man, you can never get what you want for somebody like me. Because temperament is very key. I would never love a guy, or I would never be able to stay with a guy that cannot give me attention. It's so important for me. Not for every woman. My level of attention needing is at like 120. But for some of the people, they don't mind seeing someone once a week. I want to hang out with you every 2 days. So how do I do that with somebody that has a wife? And the heart issues, you feel your conscience, you feel as if, why would you be the one to, you know? And these men, most of the time, when they come to you, they never tell you that this is the true state of their lives. By the time you have formed the relationship, your heart is a little involved. Everybody loves a person. By the time you now find out the baggage they carry, women are just like, but I love him.
So do you have to do a lot of investigation then after the age of 40 just to be that much more careful?
Oh, yes, you have to.
Yeah, you have to.
Because you can't just throw caution to the wind like you would do when you were younger. If a guy is telling me he's 45 and he says he has no place,
come on.
I don't get it.
Like, how did
how do you explain that to me, that you have no house?
I'm sorry, so what should I do with that?
Exactly.
You want to say my BQ or what do you say?
No, the guys, they'll just tell you, oh, I'm comfortable, or he comes to take you out all the time, and he comes to take you to hotels, and you're like, where is your place? It's like, you know, my office is based in Abuja, but Lagos, I just come once in a while, so I don't want to keep a place. I'm like,
what are you hiding? I have a message here on Facebook from someone who wants to remain anonymous, and it reads as follows. I'm over 40 and I seem to find younger men attractive. I end up getting dumped because of the age factor when it's time for marriage. Why are men in this part of the world so age conscious when it comes to having relationships and starting a family?
Well, I'm very close to that kind of person because I have more I'm more sensitive to younger people, and it has nothing to do with their age. I just deal with people, who they are inside. And it all depends on the maturity. There are 35-year-olds that are very mature in their head, and they have their game tight. There's no rule to relationship. Whether you date somebody that has no baggage, you can still get dumped, or you can dump the person. Because it's before that they tell me men get dumped, women get dumped. Now women, we dump men.
Yes.
We throw them out like trash. So it's both ways. I just think that it depends on the maturity of the person you're dating, and let the person be a little Eurocentric, because anybody that is Afrocentric, it's always very hard.
Okay. Agbemsa, what do you reckon to this person who sent us this message that she gets dumped? They date her, they enjoy her company, but once it's time to commit to the marriage, she gets dumped. I'm assuming that there might be somebody in that person's family that's saying, you can't marry this person. Maybe they're asking, can the person have kids?
I think she's giving up too much. I think as women, when we give too much of something and guys get comfortable with that thing without the ring on the finger,
Yes.
you'll never get the ring.
You'll never get it.
That's what I think. So if she's cooking and she's
Washing.
cooking every day, and she's washing boxers, and she's cleaning the house, and she's constantly doing it, and it gets comfortable.
But sometimes I find that we do that as women because we want to prove the fact that you can stay with me.
You're allowed.
And I'm over a certain age, so I'm trying to prove that.
But
for
the
sure
thing,
I'm
that's
going
where
to be
you're,
with-
for me, that's where
Yeah.
you're wrong. As far as I'm concerned, I don't have to prove anything to you in a relationship. If you're still there, then those are other issues. You have problems about yourself being good enough. I am good enough. I'm a good thing. Any man I commit myself to, you are taking a jackpot. I'm going to carry myself like that.
I don't think all
like
girls
that.
have that
Yes,
confidence.
if you don't
We
have
need
that
to-
confidence.
On that note of confidence, we're going to take a very quick break. Find your confidence or stay with us. Basically, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on Love Lounge. Welcome back to Love Lounge. We're talking about finding love and being appreciated, regardless how old you are, because I don't think it's just when you're over 40. But there are times when people have been in marriages and their partner passes away, the guy passes away, and at some point you find that your family, your in-laws are handing you over to the brother or the uncle or the next available man in the family. What do you think about that?
Maybe in the villages.
I don't think that.
It happens
Well,
in
it
Lagos.
happened to my
It
mom.
happens in
But
Ghana.
we
Or
saw
to
it.
my grandma.
It happened to my mom. It was just a suggestion to marry my father's younger brother, and that my father's younger brother,
My
we just
grandmother
laughed. Actually,
married
we
me.
saw it like comic relief. Really, that was then. I don't think any
It still
woman.
happens now. It happens in
Eh,
Lagos. It
it
happens in
happens
Ghana.
where-
It happens.
There maybe education is low, or there's something. But for us, 21st century
It's not
focused,
possible.
forward-thinking women, I don't think any woman will allow, except you're behind the guy and don't mind.
Yes,
Really?
exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but I don't think they can.
But one
force
of
it
the
on
arguments is, you're keeping the love within the family. You're making sure that whoever it is that's going to look after, if you had children, for instance, is somebody, you're already in an environment where the grandparents, the uncle, the aunties, everybody already knows and loves your kids, and they won't mistreat the children. And so they tell, and then
Really?
sometimes they tell the wife, you're 45. Nobody will want you outside, so just stay
That's
here.
disgusting.
I don't even think so, because even if you marry 5 people from different families, they're all different people.
Yes, they are.
It doesn't mean he comes. Do you think his wife, even if you're the widow of his brother, do you think the man's wife would like you? Even when you didn't even force it on yourself, she sees you as a usurper. You want to take over.
Yes.
So there's not going to be love. So all those things you think is going to be, you're not going to have it. She's going to look at you like you did something to seduce her husband, or else he won't have come for you. So all those protection, security, family, bonding, all those things are not going to be there. The thread that you've used to weave your family together will come undone
So crumble.
just by doing that.
Okay.
Yes. And you're with a married man.
A married
Yes, a
man,
married
so
man, yes.
how would you even escape from the horrors?
Now, sometimes, unfortunately, you meet somebody, you think that this might be the one, or it will work out or last better than your last relationship, but you still end up being dumped, or you dump the person. How do you're no longer a teenager, you're no longer in your 20s. How do you help yourself get over heartbreak at that age?
Wow. Wow.
For me, it's ice cream, it's a sad movie, it's alcohol, it's a lot of alcohol. But, you know, people say that after a certain age, you're not allowed to do that anymore. So how do you heal a broken heart? Should your heart be used to heartbreak by the age of 40, 50?
I don't think anybody can get used to heartbreak. But I think when you're older, for me, you have your 2 days or 3 days or whatever of
being an
and then you move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a sanguine, almost 100%. I live in the moment. I take relationships by the day. I am a momentous girl. So no matter how my heart can break, my heart can heal. It's made of tissue. It's not a breakable plate. It's just a sense, it's a mentality in your head. And I find out that most of the time, what I do is assess what made that happen. Was it me? Imagine if it was a cheat, and I did cheat. Then I should work on it. I don't think I want to kill the other person. Or if he did something that is totally out of his hand. Like now, if I'm going to date a younger guy, I tell you from the beginning, is there a possibility that you can prevail on your parents? Because I'm not going to go into this relationship, except we're just playing. I'm not going to commit to a serious relationship with you if I don't see that your head game is right and you're hardworking enough to know that this is a huge commitment you're taking. I would tell you so that your head is aware.
Shine your eye as you're coming here.
So I'm not going to hide it. Or you know what the mistakes we make and make heartbreaks come is we're trying to make it pretty. But when you tell him I come with 4 children, that means when we marry it's a duplex, it's not a flat.
Exactly.
Can you cope? And he still says I can do this. And you're seeing him working and he's renting a duplex. Okay. And his parents, he's exposing you to them. This is who I want. I don't care what you say. Then I know that maybe this guy knows what he's doing. So those are the things that make our hearts break. When we do the impossible, it's more about who you're dating and how you're harnessing it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for tuning in this week. We've been talking about finding love after the age of 40. Keep your messages coming in, and if you have any advice for us as well, share them with us. We'll see you again next week on Love Lounge.
Honestly, if you don't do that, you're just deceiving yourself. If you're dating a younger guy especially, you have to make his head, be sure where his head game is. Because some of them live in fairy tales.
I know. When you're younger,
I know one guy was an only son and he was so obsessed with me. In fact, we dated for like 2 years. It was my boyfriend for a long time. But he's an only child. And he wasn't just an only
He used
child.
to be mothered.
He's a child of their old age. And I already have 4 children. And I wasn't sure if I wanted more kids. So I left him. He cried. He fought. He made my life like miserable. But I did it for him. He just got married on Saturday.
Oh, wow.
And I was happy for him because I wanted him to have
And he
children.
probably does want to have kids,
He will want
Yeah,
kids. He's not
definitely.
he's an African man. They're just going to tell you lies and make you feel. But I knew. But he was just walking on that cloud in his head. But I had to be the voice of reason in the relationship. It wasn't like I didn't feel pain. But love is sacrifice. If you truly love somebody, you look at the overview. But if I'm dating a guy that has 1 child already, I could say, okay, even if I never have kids, you have one somewhere you could try, but yeah, you ain't gonna work. It makes a little sense. But keeping that relationship, how do you convince his parents that are old, that he won't, and he was younger?
At some point, they'd be like, come.
No,
Did they wash your head inside river somewhere?
Yes, even your own parents won't follow you.
Oh, no.
It's so tricky. It's tricky.